Where do you find God? Almost sounds like a loaded question, doesn't it? I mean, if God was someone you could find, wouldn't everyone be out searching? Well, rather than looking for something elusive, like a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, I reckon it's more about learning to recognise the way God is already present to us in our everyday lives. I'm Lizzie Oakes, and this is Where Do You Find God? My guest on the podcast today is Miriam Clancy. Now, in the words of Sting, Miriam is also a legal alien in New York. She's a Kiwi musician who's been based in America for the last 11 years with her husband and family, and currently back in New Zealand doing some recording for an upcoming album. Miriam.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Hi. Thanks.
Welcome to Where Do You Find God?
Yeah.
You and I was thinking you've been in this room with me before.
I have,
And, I interviewed you about 6 years ago for my podcast, Erebus Engraved on Our Hearts, which was, we both lost loved ones in the Erebus airline disaster, for anyone who knows that, back in 1979. So,
long time ago.
Yeah. So, you and I actually haven't spent a lot of time in the same room, but we find it pretty easy to
It's
have
so
conversations.
funny. We're actually, we're similar in a few ways. So it's been a really good connection through a horrendous thing.
Yeah. So today is a little bit lighter than
I would
all
imagine.
of that.
I think we're both pretty light. So it's not my natural happy place being miserable.
No, me either.
Yeah.
Hey, so you're currently in New Zealand recording for an album.
Yeah, I am.
You were doing some recording of it in New York and here.
Yeah.
How's that process been going for you?
It's been really good. I would never choose to do it like that, to be so broken up. But I realise that I will always be, my heart's here so much, and and this is where I learned how to sing. This is where I began my craft. And a lot of my songs are very, very born out of New Zealand. So, and a few of the songs are about leaving and how hard that is. And it's hard being an immigrant, especially to America. It's really, really hard. So a lot of that does, there's a connection there. There's a crossover. So the New York City meets kind of rough old Foxton, for some reason there's a crossover there. And I feel like it's great to have a couple of songs here, a couple of songs there, because I'm from here and I'm from there.
Yeah, you are. So Miriam, in Acts chapter 17, verse 27, it says, God intended that they would seek him and perhaps reach out for him and find him, though he is not far from each one of us. So my question for you today, Miriam, is where do you find God?
Wow. You know what? It's funny. We were just talking about sadness not being my happy place, but that honestly is where I find the cracks. If I dive in there and access how I'm really feeling, and it often comes only when I'm sitting down creating or playing the guitar or singing, that I'm able to find that. And so that is my gate. That's my gateway.
Gateway into God's presence.
Yeah, and it's so funny because, it's, I'll think about it. If I'm like having to do too many dinners in a row and I start moaning about it, it's like, oh man, life can be such a slog, but then you're serving anyway. So you think, okay, well, this is good. I'm actually helping other people. But the moment that I stop and think that I'm doing something selfish, I find, I have this incredible sense of peace come over me. And often I just start, and I know when I've had it is I just start feeling like I want to cry.
That's interesting you say that, because your husband, who JP, and I saw, and actually I didn't say happy birthday to you for recently, but I know he'd put a happy birthday to you on social media, and he said this thing about you actually always doing other things for other people. Because for starters, you've got 4 kids.
We've got 4 kids. The 3 teens and then the older one, he's 25. So it's always something to do, man. I'm always on the go. But that doesn't mean it's good. Because I have to keep moving. I have PTSD. I have to kind of keep going, and I do these things and in a whirlwind because I don't like to sit in my feelings. Hence the the moment where you just read in
When you
Acts
stop.
is like, okay, if I actually just stop to listen and dig deep, there I find God's got like waiting for me going, yeah, you actually need to have a cry and grieve. You
Yeah.
know? So it's like, yeah, I actually have to stop and grieve. I do too much. I burn out.
Yeah. You know, I think that's actually something that a lot of us will struggle with and do struggle with. You know, you can be all busy doing the things, and like you say, you know, you've been through some difficult things in your life that in a way you can kind of keep yourself at arm's length, can't you? But then without stopping and like you were saying, think God coming through the cracks, you kind of miss out on his presence too.
You do.
Do you think?
I absolutely. And I find the more I do that, the more bold I have been to lean into who it is I actually am. And I find that in those times, and then I find these ideas, and I find the ideas beget bigger ideas, and I have this sense of vision that unfolds right in front of me. And I it's like a cinematic. It's so bizarre. And
Do you write them down? Are you a journaler?
No, I'm definitely not. I hate it. I hate it.
Okay.
I don't know why. I was just good. Yeah, with a passion. I'm just like, if I write my lyrics down, it'll be in the book, you know, and then I just won't go back to it. It's just for me noting it. But yeah, so it's like this absolute like directorship. I just know what I need to do. And sure enough, it's this, you know, me accessing through that sadness and that moment of just like picking up my guitar or just, you know, leaning into the melody I hear in my head. And all of a sudden the ideas flow, and it's like this, I guess it's fruit. I mean, good fruit comes out of it. Yeah, I might have a cry, but it's still, I all of a sudden I see what I need to do.
And are you saying that there's life beyond the tears?
Oh, absolutely.
That's just the access point?
I don't know. I'm sure that there's life beyond the tears, but I think for someone like me, that will always be that way. But it's okay. I know how to laugh through it.
I'm quite good at crying.
Yeah, I mean,
I cried yesterday. I don't think people would know how often I cry. I then move on and I'm fine, but
it's healthy.
I'm surprised how often it comes out. And I'm like, I bet those people at work don't know that I've just gone home and had a cry, but now I feel so much better.
Yeah, but you know, what I think everybody actually does need to. The more you push it down, the more, I think the more hard you become. We have to listen to ourselves. We have to kind of acknowledge, it's like, you know, you do need to acknowledge the things that are going on for you and the struggles, or else it's hard to find a new path forward, you know?
So that place where you do for a moment stop and the melodies come and the sense of God comes through the cracks and it causes you sometimes to cry. What is that God like? Okay,
so this God knows exactly who I am, and I would say it's like being seen, you know, and I don't need to feel perfect, and I most definitely am not. Because, you know, I actually work a lot. Like I was telling you before, I sing a lot in churches. It's my job, okay? And I actually get paid for it.
Yeah, we said that off the podcast, didn't we?
Yeah.
That's part of your
This is my job.
And you get paid.
As a session singer, I do this, and often I have to bluff my way through it because, you know, having had some history, it's hard for me to kind of trust people, and sometimes it's just not a trusting situation. But then occasionally, you know, I have a moment there where I'm like, oh, whoa, there we go again. It's like this feeling that takes over. It's pretty infrequent when I am at work in church. I don't often feel that. But in times by myself, it's the God that I would feel knows how I am and goes, yeah, I love you. This is so great. Be yourself. Don't hold back. And if you know, you might not be perfect for everybody. You might hurt people. And I also don't want to hurt anyone. But it's like being authentic, and that's all right. And I feel like the impetus to be that way and not hide who I am is just so important. I think especially for women, you know, it's like, okay, I don't need to be polite. I don't need to be, you know, I don't need to make you feel comfortable for me to have room. I don't need to apologize for my existence. I'm here. I'm a little bit different, and I don't toe the line, but there's so much that, because God loves me, you know, and I don't care if you do. You know, it's okay. You don't have to.
You don't have to be a people pleaser.
No, yeah, because People pleasing is really, it's not a good thing. Really.
And also your music's quite different, isn't it?
It is.
What would we call it?
Oh, we're always calling
Many
it different
things?
things. Yeah. Yeah, like my mum said.
We'll just call it Miriam
yeah,
Clancy.
Hard to define. I'm like, yeah, I know. It's, because I've been on an arc and I have been doing this for quite a while. So it's like I've chased after different things. I've tried to get out of acoustic world. So then I've gone to electronic, and now I'm just back to like just being rowdy. The last album was quite a sad thing, grief around the whole period of my life that's been the last 3 years. But this next one is very light, and yeah, great. It's just rowdy and amazing. I love it.
Rowdy.
It's kind of a little bit Britpop, a little bit jangly. So yeah, but it's hard to define. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm a singer. I'm a songwriter.
You are.
Yeah.
You were born to do that.
Yeah.
But I love the way that you feel seen and you know that God loves you. And I imagine, doing what you're doing in New York, it's a big, noisy city. I've been there once many years ago, and just knowing that that's who God made you to be.
It's pretty funny because, I do feel odd, and I'm a fish out of water. But the funniest thing is singing in these like churches, yet hanging with the musicians who would never go there if we weren't getting paid.
Right.
That I'm just like, this is, and
so
I feel
different than
God
New Zealand,
in
right?
that. Like almost like there and outside the church is like sometimes that I've found more community there, and I've found that feeling of like, and I guess that's the thread that I like to follow if I'm feeling like that, and that's what I will often find when I'm having that moment. It's like the intuition, the sense that I need to do something, and if I grab that thread and keep pulling, then the life keeps coming. It's like these amazing things keep happening out of that, and following that instinct, and God, e.g. Exhibit A, like yes, it's a funny thing.
Follow the thread, the intuition, the inspiration, and you find God.
Yeah. Yeah.
And life flows.
Yeah, I think so. And often it's through expression, and if it is through crying or just having a big fat laugh, right? Just an irreverent laugh. Sometimes it's through that because, that's just how we're wired.
Miriam Clancy, thank you for joining me today on Where Do You Find God?
Thank you so much, Lizzie. It's been great.
Tune in every Wednesday afternoon at 4:30 on Sanctuary, or listen and subscribe via your favourite podcast platform and give us a review so others can find us.